So I don't know who needs to hear this today, and this is a hard one, but giving people more of something they already don't value isn't going to change anything about the situation in the way that you hope it will. In fact, what it's going to do, it's going to leave you feeling burnt out. It's going to leave you thinking that you as you are, and for all that you do, and for all that you just is is not enough. And it's going to make you think that the only way to see any change in the situation that you're in, whatever that might be, whether it's your work or your family dynamic or, you know, your friendship dynamic, it's going to leave you thinking the only way that you can make any change here is to keep doing more because you're not enough. And that is a whole bunch of bullshit that we need to unpack together. So before I get into it, for anyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is S.A.A.R.A. I am a musician from London. I create my own genre-defiant EDM funk. I am also a creative empowerment coach because I am really passionate about everybody understanding the power of their creativity, not only to create the life that they want, create the art that they want, create the impact that they want, but to also be in this world authentically as themselves, totally unafraid. And we are all creative beings, and as soon as we're able to tap into that and trust it and understand it, everything around us gets to change for the better. I am also someone who has come through a period of extreme breakdown, of block, of leaving toxic jobs behind, of leaving toxic friendship behind, of having to kind of just start fresh. Take a look at my life and go, okay, you got to be radically responsible now. You've got to be radically responsible for the happiness, the joy, the freedom, whatever it is that you want to see in your life, S.A.A.R.A. That's down to you. And as I'm on that journey still, I just think it's really powerful to share what's been present for me and what's been percolating for me, because it's all well and good to tune into a YouTube channel like this and hear about how someone's made 6 figures, or hear about how someone's got all of these followers or started their 3rd business or whatever it might be. But I want to talk to you from a space of, yeah, we're in it together. We're all just trying to figure this out. And more than anything, all that we need to do every day is just get up and try our best and see what happens. So I've been making this video series for about 6 months now, and I've got to say it's been so wonderful to be sharing these downloads with you. And I'm so grateful to everyone who's commented, who's liked, and most of all, the people who have subscribed. So if you're new here, please hit subscribe, walk with me, let's be together in this, because we are the most powerful creative energies in our own lives, and we get to choose what our lives look like step by step, day by day. But yeah, giving people more of what they already don't value is a surefire way to ruin your life, to wake up one day feeling really burnt out, feeling really jaded, and feeling really fucking lost, let's be clear. And when I say giving people more of what they already don't value, I'm talking about your time, your energy, like your compassion, you as a resource, you know. And I found myself, when I had this kind of day of reckoning where I woke up and I was like, whoa, I have created a life where I am someone who doesn't get to be respected. I'm someone who doesn't get to have compassion. I'm someone who doesn't get to have freedoms, who doesn't get to express themselves or to share what their perspective is. Whoa, this is down to me. And I realized that I had allowed this to become my present situation, because I really had a problem with valuing myself as is, just for who I am. Because somewhere along the way, through growing up, and again, there's lots of connecting factors, convoluting factors that play into this, you know, being a woman, being a non-white woman, being working class, you know, I found myself in a lot of spaces where I felt, or I made the assumption, I have to do more, I have to earn myself a place here. And I do that through acts of service, through being that friend that's cool with it. Oh no, don't worry about it. Like, you've totally like trashed my house, or you've totally trashed me in public as a joke, but you know, it's fine. I'm cool with it, because I thought being cool with it, being just totally, you know, available to whatever bullshit was thrown at me, was a way that I could earn my place, you know, in that friendship, or in that social circle. I thought being the pinch point at work, where I'm responsible for so many things, you know, I am working way over and above my capacity. I'm still the lowest paid member of staff. I'm still the most junior in terms of the pyramid, so to speak, the hierarchy. But yet, all of this responsibility, there was more. We need more from you. And I was giving it because I thought, okay, this will be the point. This will be the point that I get recognized. This will be the point that I'll be promoted. This will be the point that I'll finally earn my space at this table. And similarly, in my creative project, more. I was always thinking, okay, I'll have the respect, I'll win the room, I will be able to make decisions about my own art and my own music in studio spaces, in recording spaces, in rehearsal rooms, when I've proven myself, when I've done more. And what I found is that the more that I did, the more I was expected to do. It just became the standard. It just became the assumption that I was cool with it. I was cool with being disrespected, that I was cool with having extra work and responsibilities lumbered on me. I was cool being the receptacle for everybody's, you know, grumps and grievances, etc. And I was cool with being the target of the clapback from management when I was saying, okay, look, everyone here is really upset with how things are going here. Maybe we can make some improvements. And actually, when I turned around to say, guys, I'm having the conversation that we all need to have, there's no one there backing me up. But it was an expectation that I would always be the one to go in and fight for people. I would always go in and put my neck on the line for people. In my creative dynamic, I was always the provider. I'll bring the snacks, I'll bring the drinks, I'll create the environment, I'll cover the costs. Don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And actually, no, people didn't worry about it, because it became, like I say, an assumption that this was available to them. And because they didn't value it, there was no reciprocity. And because they didn't value it, there was no return on investment for me. And not in the sense that you give to get, but in the sense that you feel what you're giving is valuable in that return of investment. You know, that you've done a positive thing, or you've supported someone, or you've made an impact, and you get to feel that. No, I wasn't feeling any of that, because it was like, do more, be more, get more, go for it. And it became this kind of Jenga tower of demand and expectation that was just totally unsustainable. And I found myself at a point of complete exhaustion, and everything, like I've talked about in previous videos, had to stop. I had to walk out of that insane workplace and the friendships that I'd made there, and friendships outside of work. I had to walk away from my creative project. I had to walk away from family dynamics where this behavior was learned, and I had to get really still and clear and aware of my own inherent value, which we all have. There is no space in this world where you have to turn yourself inside out in order to be granted access, to be granted a place to receive that respect. If it's not forthcoming, it is not your space to be in. Move on. And once I understood that, once I understood the value of me, the value of who I am, just existing, I was also then able to understand that I needed to find new spaces to operate in, new friendship dynamics, a new workplace, a new creative project, and be totally comfortable with it being a bit of experimentation, a bit of boundary installation, a bit of self pep talking and geeing up and getting, compassionate with myself and saying, you are enough. You are absolutely enough. And that enough has nothing to do with being perfect. It has nothing to do with what other people have to say or think about you. It's got nothing to do with what you have or how much you earn or the clothes that you wear. It's the worth that you wake up with every day, that you were born with. And learning to value that for myself, by myself, with myself, gave me so much freedom. And it set me free from cycles that were really, really fucking draining. So now I get to be in a position where I walk into spaces already knowing my worth, and I can then act and maneuver accordingly. Walk into spaces with an open heart, with a full bucket of respect and friendship, and get to work out, okay, how much of this am I depositing here, or do I keep on moving on my journey to find the spaces and places and people who resonate with me just because of who I am and who I know I get to be when I trust myself and stop pouring from an empty cup because I'm serving people who really don't value what it is that I'm giving them. So if you're feeling like this resonates, definitely take a minute and start thinking, where are you overextending yourself? Where are you finding that you're consistently giving up more and more of yourself and not feeling that reciprocated, not feeling the benefit, not feeling that your gifts and your presence and your energy is being respected? Have a look, and where you can, practically start dialing it back. You do not need to overextend yourself in order to have people in your world. It should always be a sense of people meeting you halfway there. And if they can't do it now, they probably can't do it ever. And it's not to say that they're bad people or it has to be like a whole thing, but it's just so you yourself know there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing less about you that requires you to do more in order to get that little breadcrumb of respect. It's for you to know that you, your gifts, your presence, your energy is so, so, so valuable. Now be discerning with who you share them with. And I will see you next week. Have a great day. Thanks for being here.